All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here, of course, for One Punch! And this is the seventh episode? Seventh episode, yeah. And this is kind of a favorite episode of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know what happens in this episode. But this also is coming off of the episode where we had a couple heroes go into an abandoned area of a city that apparently Saitama lives in. Yes.
They saw the aftermath of his fight with the seaweed monster, a.k.a. soup monster.
They ended up cooking and eating all the konbu, I think it was.
Yeah.
And, that was quite an episode in terms of the ramifications of what that could mean for the show.
And we also got introduction to some of the top-tier heroes in the hero organization.
Yes, you did. And you don't really know them in context. No, it's Tornado. Yes, there are going to be some good introductions soon towards the higher-tier heroes.
Okay.
Yes, as well. But, let's get into this one so that Jacob can talk about the goodness that is inside it.
急に軌道が変わった。わかりました。ではこちらでもできる限りの対策を考えます。今から行けばいいのか。わかった。先生、なぜだかヒーロー協会に呼び出されたので、ちょっと行ってきます。
おう、首だったりしてな。
おう、君がジェノス君か。わしはバングというものじゃ。よろしく。
バング、S 級3位のシルバーファンか。本物の実力者だ。
You weren't kidding around when you said we were getting those introductions.
Yep. 連中はみんな本部に行っちまって、この支部は空っぽじゃよ。招集をかけられた S 級ヒーローもわしと君以外は誰も来とらん。
どういうことだ。
場所が遠かったり他のことで忙しいんじゃろう。めんどくさがってこない白状者もおるがの。なんせ呼び出されるときはだいたい無理難題の厄介事の処理じゃからな。今回もわしらじゃ手に負えん。災害レベル竜の最悪の事態を押し付けおったわ。35分後にここ Z 市に落下する巨大隕石を近場の S 級ヒーローたちでどうにかしてくれと言っとった。
さすがに今回は生存を諦めている者も多いが Z 市消滅どころじゃない。周辺の町も壊滅するだろう。今から避難したんじゃ間に合わない。まさかこの試作品を試すことになるとは。
That's cool. That's cool. Here we go. Upgrades.
俺の焼却砲フルパワーでなんとか迎撃できないか。この町に先生も住んでいる。俺だけ逃げるわけにはいかない。あれは
Another hero?
お前はボフォイだな。
お前は新人のジェノスか。
I am rather partial to that design. I knew you would be.
S97 高火力の兵器で敵を周囲の建物ごと粉砕するヒーロー。こいつも Z 市に住んでいるのか。それとも命を張って駆けつけたのか。ボフォイ、
like the music.
お前の力を貸してくれ。
断る。
なぜ？
俺は新兵器の実験のために来ただけだ。隕石とは都合がいい。
Because he doesn't have to worry about collateral damage.
お前も死ぬぞ。
俺は死なん。
何？
今お前が話しかけているのは遠隔操作されているロボット。
Okay.
残念だが俺は命をかけてるわけじゃない。それと俺はボホリではなくメタルナイトだ。ヒーローは本名じゃなくヒーロー名で呼べ。常識だ。
Of course. Naturally.
よし、 タルナイト。このタイミングじゃかえって邪魔になる。
That was cool.
こいつ、これだけの破壊兵器を。こいつは危険だ。警戒しておく必要がある。
And it did nothing.
主は失敗を考えるには
Reminds
ま
me
だ
of Fu
若
from
すぎる
Brotherhood.
の
Right?
土壇場こそ
Exactly.
適当でいいんじゃ適当で結果は変わらんそれがベストなんじゃ
適当がベスト。
That's literally what he does, though.
Yep, that's true.
そうだ。もしも結果が変わらないのだとしたら、自分の全力を尽くさずして何がベストだ。
Wow.
バング、伏せていろ。
Okay, Iron Man.
失敗や二次的な被害などは考えない。この一撃に
Into one blast!
全てを捧げる。
That's right, pierce the heavens, Genos.
はいダメかいや隕石を押し返しているようにも見えるぞ
本当か。ここが俺の墓場か。
Man, the animation is amazing.
He tried so hard, got so far,
But in the end,
it doesn't even matter.
逃げるんだ、バングさん。
じいさんこいつ任せるぞ
Here we go.
誰じゃね君は
I'm a hero for fun.
俺はヒーローをやっているものだ
先生。
俺の町に落ちてんじゃね
Wait. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Wait, did he actually shatter it? Or did he just go through it?
だが
崩れる。
このビルだけじゃない街全体に崩壊の波が広がっていく
一見落着だな
トラ、
Yeah, here we
不
go.
特定多数の生命の危機。鬼、町全体の機能が停止。
Okay.
もしくは壊滅の危機。竜、いくつも
Yeah,
の町が
multiple
壊滅する
cities,
危機。
right.
神、人類滅亡の危機。
こんなんなってんのか
A guide to threat levels.
ヒーローはこれらを加味して
There you go.
自分が出動するかどうかを判断すると思っていましたが、
Isn't that so messed
先
up?
生には関係ないようです。
Oh yeah.
いや当たり前だろ
So
Like,
it's,
this is too tough for me. I'm not gonna go.
Right.
If the heroes run away, who's left to help?
yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
He's like, he's like,
言葉をメモし
I'm gonna write a book. The speakings of
にして
Saitama.
も
Yep.
あの程度でこんなにランクが上がるのかよし
He's still
ちょっ
writing.
と外回りでもしてくるわ
外出ですか先生。それなら俺も同行します。
来んなよなんかあったらまたお前の手柄になっちまうだろ
He's going out in his socks.
Yeah. Yeah.
よく行くスーパーが潰れてる
Aw.
And
俺
no
を
one
追い
died
出したム
somehow.
カつく大家のアパートは無事か
Okay, that was good.
このインチキ野郎
どちら様で
Tank Top Tiger.
マジで誰だっけこいつ。
呼んだか弟よ。兄貴、ヒーロータンクトップブラックホール参上。お前か S 級ヒーローのおこぼれで順位を上げてるインチキ野郎は。
Wow.
なんだそりゃ。
お前かこの街を破壊した張本人は。
そうか、この町にはこいつに怒りの矛先を向ける奴もいる。
信じられ
That's
ん
mean.
な。なんてひどいやつなんだ。
なるほど、それを利用して
この光景を見て何とも思わないのか。
心折る。
住民を救った気で越に行っているのかな。だから堂々と外出なんかできるんだろうな。お前の失敗のせいで行き場をなくした人がたくさんいるのにな。
I did not see
こい
that
つらなら
coming.
最初から出しゃばらなければ他のヒーローがなんとかうまくやっていただろうにな。こんな大惨事を起こしてまだヒーローを続ける気か。この街を見ろ。このありさまはお前のせいなのに。
The mob effects. Yep.
Right.
恐ろしいほどの合唱になって
Because they just want to be able to blame anything.
やめろ
Yep.
やめろやめろ。 埼玉君、君は間違いなくこの町の命を救った。それに対する周囲のこの反応、これが現実じゃ。君は強い。わしが出会ってきた中で最もな。だからここはあえて口を出さん。君がこんな業界で腐っていく姿は見たくない。やめるのも一つの道じゃ。俺たち兄弟がヒーローとして歪んだお前を粛清してやる。ガオー。さあセブンス。
え、いや、冗談だろ。いや、嘘じゃねえ。
隕石をぶっ壊したのは俺だ。文句があるなら聞いてやる。言ってみろ。
でもお前のせいで俺の信者が。
うるせえ、黙れ。
You're still
お
alive.
めえらの被害なんて知るか。そんなもん隕石に言え、ボケ。いいか、俺はてめえらの評価が欲しくてヒーローやってんじゃねえからな。俺がやりたくてやってんだ。恨みたきゃ勝手に恨め、このハゲ。
ハゲはお前だろ。
んだぞ。
先生。お、なんだジェノスか。ちょっと待ってろ。あいつが俺のこと。
帰りましょう。先生。先生。俺は埼玉先生ほど優れた人間を見たことがありません。
なんだよ急に。
Good man, Genos.
たとえ世間に評価されなくても俺は先生についていきます。
そういうのいらねえから別に。
What a bro.
What a bro. All right, what did you think of it?
Favorite episode so
Favorite
far.
episode?
Yeah. That was,
Yes!
That was
This is
awesome.
one of my favorite episodes too.
Uh,
Probably my second favorite, but yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you've seen the whole show, so.
I mean, it's tied for a favorite because I've seen the whole show. There's a good one coming up it's really good, but this one in particular, yeah, it's not a conventional One Punch Man
Yes.
episode. So yeah,
And-
what did you think about that?
I thought that was awesome because there's like I was thinking that it was some kind of like villain disguised as a meteor or something, or whatever.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, it's a meteor. He is able to beat it in one punch, but well, yeah.
Yeah, he almost is too good at beating
Right.
it, and because he is,
Yeah.
yeah, After Effects.
Yeah, and of course nobody thanks him, and that was one of the things that I really liked because they've been doing that sort of thing of Saitama being the unsung hero, but this was a lot more like personal, than in the other episodes, and I really liked that. That was one of the things that they do in Mob Psycho that I really liked.
Yes, they definitely.
So
do
I
that
was
there as
really
well.
happy to see that in this one. And we had our first true bro moment with Genos, because
we've had a couple, but this was
this was a true bro moment,
yeah.
you know, because up till now you could, if you wanted to, dismiss the other bro moments as mostly being a apprentice master kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
But this is like, no, this was a thing you do for a friend, not just someone that you're wanting to teach you awesome stuff, right?
Yeah, and in a way, I'm glad that Genos didn't come in and say anything, try to defend him. He just stood there and basically was like, "I'm gonna stand with you. No one's gonna."
Yeah, and then later, as they're walking back, he's like, "Hey, I think you're pretty incredible."
Yeah. So he's getting the hero worship from a positive source, in a positive way, from someone that actually really does care about him.
The only person of all the people in the episode that really matters, you know.
Yes, and to another extent, I want to call your attention to the Class S heroes that were introduced here. We have Metal Knight.
Yes.
Who's now rank 6 Class S hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went there specifically to test a new weapon, but did not care at all about whether or not the city was actually saved.
Right.
And we have the Class 3, I believe it was Class 3 or Class 2.
Yeah, the foo-looking guy.
Bang.
Yeah,
and
who went there
he
and
basically
didn't do
came there and didn't do anything because he couldn't.
Right. Yeah.
But, or at least it didn't look like he could.
Yeah.
He's some kind of physical martial arts,
but not on the level
kind
of
thing. But yeah. But he was there because something there was important to him. But no other Class S heroes came, meaning 14 Class S heroes, who are probably at least 2 of them stronger than Bang.
Yep.
Either said, it's not worth my time, or it's too far away, or the loss of life is just a thing that's going to happen.
And one of the things that I thought of is I thought of in Doctor Strange at the very beginning when they're showing that he's like this really good doctor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They show that he is avoiding taking certain cases because it's a lost cause, right?
Yeah.
And one, he doesn't want to tarnish his reputation.
Uh-huh.
And he just doesn't want to tarnish his reputation.
Yeah.
Like, and especially with something like superheroes. I mean, they talk about this a lot in My Hero Academia. The idea that, and they've been showing it in the show, you know, completely with people like Tank Top Tiger and them who are, you know, all about the bravado and stuff and, you know, putting themselves on display for the crowds and the show of it, rather than actually doing really anything. Because, you know, so instead they'll just come up with some excuse of, I had other important work and I couldn't make it there in time. Or
but
whatever.
that's a great way to put it, Jacob, with having people that have ascended a ladder, so to speak, to a point where they have their power, essentially their influence, and they don't want to lose it.
So they don't use it.
So they don't use it. But what happens when humanity is threatened and Class S heroes have to actually put themselves on the line?
Do you think
that would would create a dynamic where some of them would actually be revealed as frauds, where they're like, I'm just gonna hide behind the
because especially if you have something like superpowers where let's say someone is kind of like Saitama, where they just have a power that's way better than everyone else, right? Then they don't really ever have to struggle. And if you never have to struggle, then when you do come up against the struggle, when you do come up against a time when you're scared or whatever, what's to say that you'll actually put your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah, exactly. So right now what we have is a bunch of Class S heroes that they've been hinting at, kind of showing teases for. They've been, introduced a couple this episode. But this was Threat Level Dragon. This was a natural disaster. But essentially what happened was the Class S heroes just decided, it's not going to affect me, probably.
Right. So what I'm guessing is going to happen, here's my prediction. Because this is, I feel like, where I can actually make predictions. Because up till now it hasn't done too much in bigger hinting and stuff like that. But what I think is going to happen is that, of course, there's going to be a god level threat, right? And that's going to force all the Class S heroes out of the woodwork, because now, like it or not, they have to band together to stop this threat, whatever it is. Otherwise, they're all going to die. And then maybe that'll be a time when Saitama can step in and sort of lead, or do something like that will get him recognition that he deserves, not because he's trying to get recognition, but just because, he'll be the natural person to lead, because he's Saitama. He's the One Punch Man, right? He can do all that awesomeness.
To an extent, I agree with you, except in the leading part. I think the leading part is seemingly relegated to Genos and his natural charisma.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. So I could see that happening where Genos, because they also wouldn't want to lead Saitama because they probably wouldn't believe that he can actually do all this stuff.
Right.
So if Genos is basically saying like, here's what we're gonna do because I'm the shonen protagonist and I believe in doing what's right even if we're all scared and all that stuff, and then he basically brings Saitama along, and
Saitama punches things.
And Saitama punches things. It's a simple strategy, but so far it's been very effective.
Okay, cool. So previously, Moomin Rider shot up to being one of your favorite characters.
Yes.
Now, where do Genos and Saitama fit in your top characters list now that you've seen this episode?
Well, so here's the thing. I feel like Moomin Rider in this is kind of like Neo in Ruby Chibi, or just Ruby, right? They don't say much. They don't have as much screen time as you would like. And they don't do a whole lot as far as the plot is concerned, but you absolutely love them. Genos and Saitama, I feel like they should be higher than Moomin Rider, but there's just something that's so endearing about Moomin Rider that he's still number one. But Saitama and Genos are, after this episode, they're very close behind him.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is the part where Genos and Saitama as... I don't want to say a couple, but as a bromance is kind of a thing for me. I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of the mob mentality.
Yes.
Like, let's go to that really quick before we're done here. There's a whole thing with people when they get into that stage where they're just riled up because something is a problem.
Right. Something's going wrong in their life and they want to be able to blame something for it.
Yeah. What do you see to that and how that fits into the theme of One Punch Man?
Well, the two major themes that I see in One Punch Man is, one, the idea of the true conflict being within Saitama, not in his actual powers, but, and then the other one is, what does it actually mean to be a hero? Because there are so many people that aren't heroes, and then this, I would say, was a great way to show the people as a whole, show them, one, why they need heroes.
Yeah.
Right? Because
great point.
And also show how big of a deal it is when someone steps by, or steps up, like, from Saitama to Moomin Rider and actually decides to be the hero. Because most people aren't willing to do that. In a case like this, it was just something that happened, right? A meteor. You can't affect that. But even if it was something, say, in their own lives, they might want to be blaming someone else other than them or other than the meteor.
Shoot.
And that's something that I would say everyone has to deal with and sort of learn to beat. At some point in their lives. And that's why heroes are so endearing to us, because they not only don't do that, but they also shoulder the burdens of other people for them.
Yeah. In a goofy way, just to call back to Saitama's little training regimen, Saitama basically had a point where the environment wasn't receptive to his current levels of strength. Meaning that he couldn't change the environment from where he was, so he decided to do something about it, and for 3 years he did what he could internally to help affect the environment externally. And because he did that, he now has the power to do whatever he wants with that. But other characters, like we have seen throughout this show so far, are not willing to do that. They end up blaming other things for basically their own problems.
And here's something I just thought of. So one of the things, I didn't really think much about Saitama's whole training regimen when he first talked about it, because it's like that.
It's a joke. Yeah,
it's a joke, right?
Yeah.
But then I just thought of something. It wasn't a joke to Saitama, though.
Yeah, exactly.
He was willing to do whatever it took, and that was what he saw as being the big thing that would basically be him taking charge of the situation.
Exactly.
And then hence he got that power. Whereas if someone else were to do it, it probably wouldn't do much for them because, and I mean, I know there's the whole actual superpower thing, but mentally it wouldn't be as big of a deal for them because they'd just be thinking, I'm just doing this regimen. Whereas with Saitama, it's like, I am going to do this.
This will make me into a hero.
Yeah,
there was something that happened in his head,
right,
as well as his body.
You can almost say
regimen.
This is just a dream, and that he's gotten to that state mentally where he can destroy anything in one punch.
Wouldn't that be a crazy twist for the end of this series? That would be hilarious. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode. One of my favorites, probably my second favorite, or tied for my first.
Okay,
but so far your favorite.
Yeah, well, and if this is your second favorite, then I'm excited to see which one's your favorite. Don't tell me which one though.
Okay. No. All right. Well, until then, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the current episode that's out right now on our Patreon, go check us out in the link below, and you can watch next week's One Punch Man episode a week early.
Yeah.
All right, guys. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.